What's up? Okay, this is going to be the third time we're doing this video, but it's an interesting video. That's why I want to do it the third time as well. So we did the first one, we had a bit of an issue glitch on the charts, and then we did the second one. I hopefully explained it, and then from that one we had another question, which is awesome. The person asked me, how many times have we done the 1618? Right, so on the previous video we talked about the 1618, and the question was now how many times have we actually done it. It's very simple actually. It's easy to find as well. So let's take the high and the low, right, and just use this as our beginning structure from October 2010, and now let's start working. So this is all you have to do actually to find this particular number. You take the 1618 and you take the 236 and start building on it. Now all you got to do is build it, and you can actually calculate. It doesn't matter how many times you put it, because remember what we were doing was hypothetical, but the question is have we actually hit those targets, right? And you can see that it doesn't matter what happens. The 1618, and I'm using the weekly time frame here, you can use any, because that was another question as well, is how long does it take? There is no time frame to it, right? It's just a matter of hitting that target, and then what's the next target, right? The key is you hit that target, and then after that you start building on your next target, right? So as long as we do this, you can see, for example, I'll give you a good example here regarding that question, is like how many times. So if you see here, for example, from 2010, right, to say this area here, so this Fibonacci here was on this candle here, was on December 2011, right? So we'd hit it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on this particular candle, right? So you work it that way. And then for example, this one here, if you look carefully, we actually hit that level on this specific candle here, which was on July 12. So you can put as many as you want. Obviously there's not enough space, but if you continuously do this, it will amaze you and it will shock you that we actually do hit these numbers, these Fibonacci numbers. We do hit them, right? It's a matter of when. So if you carefully look, for example, this was the Fibonacci number there, and it doesn't matter about a bull run or a bear run, we're always going to hit those numbers. So we hit this number, for example, the $46, right? And if you look carefully, this was the candle that we hit it on, which was in 2013. And you can continuously do this and find yourself that actual number, and you can see that all we've been doing is over time just been growing. So obviously I'm doing it over a larger time frame, but it doesn't matter when you do it. You can see how this curve works, right? And this is the same thing as the Bitcoin logarithmic curve, right? So that's how you calculate it. You just keep on putting your 1618s and you start plotting it, and what you see is this curve here, right? And the way we look at curve, for example, let's do a curve here. We can take these 0 points, for example, right, and we use the 0.2, obviously that's what you were using, but we use the 0 points here, and if we start plotting this 0 point, let me flip it over, and what you see is this curve here, right, if that makes any sense to you. So that's the kind of a curve you end up seeing that BTC will give you over time. So obviously I'm just drawing here, this is a different story, but 1 second, here we are, and here we go. So we can just start putting this curve, and then we can move it forward, and that's what your Bitcoin logarithmic curve is, right? Because every time what you're doing is basically you're doing this 1618, you're coming back to a 236, you know, and you constantly do that, right? And there's no such thing as when, you just have to find that point. So when did we hit this particular price? Well, we hit this on this specific date. So that's how you track it. But obviously, because if you do track it on a daily or something, this is what the kind of insane numbers you're going to see. But ultimately, there's no limit to how many fibs you can put and how many times we've done it. Ultimately, we have been doing it, and we've done it hundreds of times, hundreds and hundreds of times, right? Regardless whether it's been a bear market or a bull market, it doesn't matter, right? What matters is, did we hit that? Are we actually on this curvature? Are we actually moving up? And are we continuously doing this? And are we going to keep on doing this, right, until we get to that level, right? And you can see that in history we've constantly been doing this over and over again, and we're not even right now you're looking at this and you're like, okay, we're not touching this. Actually we are. If you look carefully, this was on this date here, and this was in a bear run, all right, just before a bull run, right? So you can see we've hit those numbers in the bear market and we've hit them in the bull market. If you want me to continue, I can carry on doing this, because it's all about just keep on drawing this one single number over and over again, repeat this number over and over again, and then we end up seeing this pattern playing out. Doesn't matter what season we're in, what date we're in, we're always going to see this number continuously play, and we're always going to hit those numbers regardless, right? I hope this kind of makes sense, and I hope you understand, because I know this is an insane video, right? Because a lot of people don't think like this. A lot of people don't even show you this kind of stuff. On this channel, I try to answer as many community questions as possible, and try and give you a clear picture of what we're seeing. So if I was to put a log chart here, this is exactly what the log chart is doing, basically, you know, over and over again. We're just repeating this one pattern over and over again, right? And we can see that it doesn't matter what time frame we put it on, how many days we put it on, we're always going to see this pattern repeating itself non-stop, right? And we're always going to hit these levels, right? So for example, this was the $10,000 level, and you can see we just came out of the bear market and we hit that $10,000 level again. All right, so this is how you can work this, and you can see, right, when was the first time we hit these levels, right? So this was a $7,800 level. You know, did we play these Fib levels? You know, top line, bottom line, doesn't matter what line you are. Did we hit this, and are we following this curvature? Now, right now, as you can see, absolutely we're following this curvature. Even if I put the Bitcoin logarithmic, hold on, log, right, if I put the logarithmic, it will pretty much show you the similar kind of a pattern. So if you look carefully, it's showing you the similar kind of a pattern, but obviously this won't play exactly to the dot. I mean, it does play exactly to the dot, but you'll have to find the price point. But the ultimate argument here is, obviously, on sometimes we'll do 100%, we'll do 1,000%, we'll do 2,000%, 20,000%, right? So when we're doing this, it changes everything. I hope this kind of makes sense. I'm going to see you on another one. Like, share, subscribe. I hope this was valuable. Adios, my amigos.